First thing first, if you guys want to introduce yourselves and say what do you do here at Brink, or what's your title, role, etc.
My name's Kelly Montgomery. I'm the head brewer here at Brink Brewing. And over to my right here, we've got Andy. And
I am not the head brewer. I am the head janitor, I guess. Director of operations. Kind of do the back office stuff. One of the founders with Kelly.
So the big question is, you guys just went to Denver. You guys just came home with a medal. That's freaking amazing. When you were talking earlier how that was kind of your goal, like that was your end game, like you wanted to go to Great American Beer Fest, come home with a gold medal, like.
I think a medal.
Or any medal. I mean, how does it feel?
Realistically, it was a 5-year goal. Right now GABF has over 8,000 entries, so you can have a really good beer and not win anything. So it was kind of I wanted to really in my lifetime. I mean, that's my Super Bowl. That's my passion. But I was really hoping that we could get one in the next 5 years. I thought our entries this year were pretty strong, so I thought we had a pretty good chance this year. But with so many entries, you just never know. There's tons of fantastic beers that just don't win. So, but yeah, that was other than first child being born and a few other things in life, there's nothing better than getting called up to that stage. My main goal, I mean, just going up. I had told some people at the brewery, to some of our patrons, that sometime in my lifetime, if Charlie's still around, Charlie Papazian, I'd just go up, give him the fist bump, have him put a medal on me. That was my goal. And we ran into Charlie Papazian the day before the awards ceremony. He was doing an interview, and I went up and talked to him, and I just telling him some stories. My Uncle Jack told me the first book I ever got was from Charlie Papazian. My uncle gave it to me, The Joy of Home Brewing. Kind of the godfather of kind of craft beer, home brewing, and I was just talking to him. I was like, man, I really hope I get to see you tomorrow and fist bump you. And so it was pretty great when we got announced and was able to fist bump Charlie and get a medal. So it was really exciting.
It was I've never been on a winning team, or it's been a long time, and nothing as significant as this. It was something else, just that this was a major industry award. If you're not in craft beer, maybe you don't really understand the significance of it, and especially for, I think, a brewery as young as us, not only to win a medal, but to win a gold. I mean, coming off of winning a U.S. Open gold, which is also another major competition, and I think there was rumors floating around from Dow that we might have been maybe the youngest brewery ever to win a gold in the U.S. Open a few months prior. At least we were one of the youngest this year, and back that up with the GABF gold. We might have come out of the gate a little too strong, and now the bar is set too high for Kelly, and yeah.
My goal, I would like to, we're really competitive. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but
it's a good thing.
I think all the owners at Brink are pretty competitive and really passionate about beer. And we'd like to win, at least my goal, I'd like to win over multiple styles. Not the same beer we won one time and we keep entering it every year. I'd like to, do it across many styles. It's a tall order. I don't know if we can do it, but that's where I'd like to head. That's the goal. We'll keep striving. We'll keep researching, doing whatever we can to get there. So.
I came into this commercial brewing thing, and I was talking a lot of smack to Kelly. Like, we're gonna win GABF, and he kept telling me to shut up. You don't know how hard that is. No, don't set that as your expectation. Like, no, man, your beer's great. I got the utmost confidence that you're going to get it done. And believe it or not, I'm usually I'd say the realist, i.e. the pessimist in the group. longtime suffering Bengals fan will make you that, but I went into this year with a really positive outlook of the beers that we entered. The night before the judging, I was drinking prior medal winning beers. I was like, there's no reason that these can't place again, but as we said, I mean, there's tons and tons of great beers in that competition, and even if you have a top beer, even in a smaller category like mild, I mean, it's a 1% chance that you'll win a medal. So to win a gold was huge. I think it almost was a sense of relief also that we got it out of the way so soon, because it was our goal. And I think realistically, in the back of my head, I said, okay, don't get disappointed if we don't do it this year. We'll get it eventually. So kind of a monkey off the back right away, I guess.
I would have been crushed, honestly.
I kind of would have been upset.
So safe to say you were pleasantly surprised, genuinely surprised.
Relieved.
Or were you feeling really good going in? Were you very happy with it?
I thought we had a good chance, but really just nervous. I remember just sitting there as they're reading. They got third, second, craps.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, there's no way. And
it's just, and then when you get it,
it was like total elation. Like we just all burst up, and I think a bunch of F-bombs were flying, and Kelly has some tendon issues in his wrist right now, and I gave him probably the hardest high five he ever.
Atomic high five.
Probably knocked his tendon back in place, I guess.
Feeling much better since.
But no, it was kind of overwhelming. Same sort of thing, bronze comes up in mild, and silver. Like, oh, okay, well that one's out, and then we busted. It was extremely exhilarating until we got off the stage, and I was, I think we were all shaking. And Kelly's extremely mild-mannered. You can tell he's low-key, but I'm watching him as we're sitting there on the ground, and like his legs are shaking. He's twitching a little bit. He probably didn't realize he was, but and that was the most nerves I've ever seen out of him. So, and it was nobody else would have picked up on it, but he's jittery a little bit. So for me, it's just relief. Like it's almost like house money now. So I think we can do it again, but the pressure's off to do it next year, I guess. So we do it next year, we're on some sort of roll, but that's not the expectation, I wouldn't say.
You mentioned you wanted to win in other categories. Do you already know what you're going to do next year? I don't know if that's like releasing a secret or,
That's the fun of, just from the homebrewing background, just constantly going from style to style. Once I thought I had a style down, I'd move on to the next one. Since we're not really a production brewery and we have the ability to brew multiple styles and mix in old favorites, we can, I don't know what those beers are going to be yet, but once we get closer, there's probably going to be, another however many beers that I want to enter that we haven't even done yet. So just some tweaks from stuff that we were doing in the garage from the homebrew days. So we won't put together that plan until it gets closer, because I know there's going to be some other styles. There's a lot of styles that we haven't done that I want to get to that could be that next entry for that.
Well, the mild was not even one that was supposed to be entered. It was kind of the backdoor one that got in. We knew we were going to enter the Moozy, the brown was going in, and the old ale, and the fourth beer that we were going to enter was a Scottish export that I don't believe Kelly had ever brewed, at least not commercially, but he was real happy with the recipe, and just things happened around that time that we didn't get to brew it. So we just kind of looked at what we had on hand and like, what's the next strongest beer that we think is a good representation of the style. So, the mild almost didn't even make it in. So, we'll probably figure out what's going into GABF next year, or maybe a month and 2 months out. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
at the time?
Yeah, pretty much.
Final question. It's very open-ended. It's not even really a question. It's kind of giving you guys a little soapbox. If you could say one thing, or if you had a message or just a comment about the current state of Cincinnati brewing or the Cincinnati craft community, especially if you wanted to say something to your patrons or Cincinnati craft beer lovers in general, what would you say?
Mine would first be directed at the neighborhood, which was just thanks for supporting us and making this possible. We didn't know anything about this neighborhood going in. We took a real chance on it, at least from our perspective. And the support we've gotten from the community has just pretty much been overwhelming. They're really proud of us. So many people who are up here who are regulars, they're our legitimate friends now. They're our extended family. So that's pretty much what I'd want to say to Cincinnati as a whole. I hope that the GABF medal maybe raises our profile. Obviously I hope it does. I think I get a lot of, Brink, where's that? Or, never heard of you guys. And at least in the week after GABF, that conversation's changed a little bit, back to what we said earlier, Kelly said earlier about us being competitive by nature. We want to be in the conversation, and I hope that Cincinnati maybe now gives us a look. Even if you live on the other side of town, come check out what we're doing over here. I think we're putting together a good experience and a great beer.
Yeah, I just think we're really lucky to just have some great neighbors as breweries. We got Urban Artifact down the street, just banging out some fantastic fruit sours right now. We got Taft that just opened up their new production facility. They're probably 3-4 miles away. Yeah, it's great having some neighbors that are, we're so small, and we don't have a lot of fancy equipment, so I'm just really thankful someone like Taft, my old neighbor, one of my great friends that lived across the street from me, happens to be working Taft right down the street. He was brought over their dissolved oxygen meter, which were like 20 grand. So we were able to dial in a few of our processes. So I'm just, really thankful of the great breweries we have around. We got the Fibonacci right up the street. Bob and Betty and their whole crew are probably some of the best people in the business.
Yep.
And just really happy to be in this spot because we're really surrounded. We got West Side down the street, so we're just surrounded by some great people and some great brewers.
It's a little more active than normal for this. It is a Monday. Come on, people, settle down.